All right, man. So this is tier 9, uh, where we currently are now. As I said before, every tier going down numerically is going to get harder and harder. Some of the nodes here are pretty much nothing, um, but some of them are really, really important to get correct. So let's go over a little bit of that now. Whenever we do more battle groups, they are all the same, so you'll never see anything different than what I'm seeing in BG1 or 2. They're all going to be the same nodes, dependent on our tier as an alliance. So we'll start in the middle here. Real quick, all this has already been set up. I've already done all the strategizing and placing, so this is ready to go. So here we go. Let's start with Gladiator Hulk down here. The nodes are all or nothing, which I'm sure you've heard before. Basically, they're not going to launch a SP1 or a 2. They're going to go all the way to 3. So you want somebody there who, honestly, I like putting an Nihilus there because he is immune to power control. The problem with that is that he's being put so close to the beginning that everybody's, at full strength, and it doesn't give them a big HP boost. Only 50% HP and only 75 attack and health, so you really don't want to put him there. Gladiator Hulk has got some huge health pool, which will go nice with this breakthrough plus 5,000 armor rating. It's a good idea. He's going to be a tough takedown. It's going to take a lot of hits to bring him down. So that's what you want in the beginning of these things. You want to ruin their day early. You don't want to put crap people up here at the front. And most people, this is what they do. They take these first 3 sections, M1, L1, and R1, and they put shit people in there. And then as they go along, these get a little better, and then they have their best people in the diamond. That's a mistake. You play every node to the strength of whatever champion you have. So we'll go over here to Nick Fury. He's on Spite, which anytime they have an active effect on them, it's going to give him 18% power. And then he's going to go unstoppable for 2 seconds every 10 seconds, which he already has unstoppable capabilities. So it's just going to give him more duration or more activations on his unstoppable, especially once you get him down. Now he's not duped, which is why he's in that spot. He's not going to gain his second life, so he's really kind of not somebody I would suggest putting in the war in the first place, unless he's duped, because he really doesn't have, he's a very easy person to kill. All right, let's move up to this little middle one here that's empty. It's just enhanced special 1. It's not a huge gain for anything. I'm not worried about putting nobody there. I don't have enough people. Let's go over here to this right one. It's also all or nothing. But the difference is it also has fisticuffs, which is not going to allow you to activate any buffs or debuffs in the first 10 seconds. So no furies, no bleeds, no nothing, no parries. You cannot parry him for 10 seconds at the very minimum. Iron Man Infinity War is a very tough fight, no matter who you are, no matter what you do. So I put 3 of these motherfuckers right next to each other. I'm going to try and ruin their day real quick. We got Spite again, heavy hitter, enhanced special 2s, just a bunch of stuff for the mini boss there. This little mini section where I got Sentinel's enhanced special 2 and power focus. Sentinel's special 2 is pretty gnarly. It does some good damage, so that's where he's at. And the left side is probably going to... Oh shit, my bad. So this is the same thing as the one before. Alright, let's go over to L1. L1 is a lot more laxed. There's not a whole lot going on that I'm worried about. You got Psychic Thorns. Basically, no physical contact attack does any damage. Only energy attacks. Got, poison, enhanced poison. I don't really care to put anybody there because normally everybody has some sort of champion in their top 3 that can do something with that. And at this level, everybody plans. So that's not really one that you want to spend a good champion on, because people plan for this shit. Like we're going to start doing. So these three really are kind of bullshit. Don't worry about it too much. Now up here, we're getting a little bit better. You got the Psychic Thorns again, but it's also special attack heal block. So whenever he launches special attack, it's going to stop any regen abilities. Alright, in the middle here, I just put him there for the poison and immunity. It's really kind of just a random throw. And over here, another random throw. But this is not a random throw. Angela's missing health is going to cause degen towards them. Angela's got a decent health pool, so she's going to lose a lot of health when she gets down there, but she's not going to die quickly. So that degen is going to be able to do a little bit of damage. Alright, R1. This is by far probably one of the most important little sections, especially in the first part. And you want to trip people up with these two spots here. The ones I just switched between both Mordos. It's the Aegis one. You know all about that. You hate that motherfucker. You want to put Mordos there. You want to put something like that. But eventually, I'm going to switch it up, especially when we get down to like tier 7, tier 6. I'm going to start putting different champions there, because everybody knows about Mordo in those spots whenever you get to higher competition. So we're going to move and switch it to like hopefully a MODOK, hopefully a Nightcrawler would be good. Yeah, things like that. This here is kind of important. There's massive armor going on in this spot. It's got that 5,000 armor rating. And sorry, I got distracted by that. The Iron Man there has got a lot of armor. So let's move up to the most important spot on the whole battlefield, and it's these two connectors, where I've got Annihilus and we've got Iron Man Infinity War. These spots are the most important. Why? Because everybody has to pass through this area. There is no getting through to the next section without passing go. So there's no bypassing this. You want to put two champs here that are absolute killers. I'm tired of putting Korg and honestly Iron Man Infinity War. I'm tired of putting both of those guys there. Everybody knows about them. Everybody prepares for them. What they're not prepared for is that Annihilus right there. My Annihilus is going to eat them the fuck up. It's not even going to be a game. He's going to get at least 2 kills, no doubt, if they even try and take him down. Most times I see them bypass him. They're afraid of him. They'll go right to Iron Man Infinity War and then path go without even trying to fight Annihilus. But the local nodes, the defender gains plus 50% attack for each debuff on them. So a debuff on them, that means any debuff on Iron Man. So it's kind of random. It's kind of luck of the draw. If somebody decides to fight him and they have debuffs going, it's only going to help him. Gains fear, armor up, and health steal as long as they remain above 75% health pool. Yeah, so he's going to do a bunch of stuff as long as he stays over 75, 100% attack, 150% health. Same thing on the other side, but a little different. It's going to be the defender gains 50% attack for each buff on them. Annihilus has a lot of different buffs. He's got Furies. He's got a bunch of different stuff going on. So he's going to gain attack. His attack's going to be ridiculous. Let's just put it that way. He's also going to gain that Fury armor up and health steal below 25 HP, which doesn't add up to be a big of a deal, but, here we are. Let's go to R2. This first spot right here where Thor Jane Foster is bullshit. Put a shitty champ there. That's what I did. This middle spot, however, is not. If you know what you're doing, like I do, most people do not utilize this spot that well, but I do. This is one of my favorite spots. Close encounter. While close to this defender, the attacker regenerates 1% of their max health. While far away from the defender, the attacker degens 3% of their health every second. Now, The reason why this is a big deal is because I've got Omega Red there. Omega Red is a proximity champion, so if you're even close to him, which this node requires you to be close to him, you're going to take a bunch of fucking damage from his abilities. So for them to bypass the node, they have to be close to this champion to regen. So if they're far away, which they have to be when fighting Omega Red, they're going to degen 3% of their max health every second. This is going to be crucial, man. This is a good spot to put Omega Red because they're never going to get that regen ever, because he's going to add up those charges when you're near him and you're going to be dying the whole time. So Omega Red, absolutely the best champion to put there. Captain Marvel here on the side just starts with a bar power. She's a mean special attack lady, so always a good idea. Yeah, this is another bullshit spot where their Electro is. I put Electro there just because he's a kind of a nuisance to fight. This is where the second Omega is. It's the same as where the first one is. What just happened? What did I press? Son of a bitch. Whack in. Yeah, it's the same as where the first Omega is. It's that same close encounters thing, so it's the same idea. Yeah, but it also has Plagued Mind, which is going to drain the attacker's power and Prey on the weak. Defender gains 1% of their max power each time a buff is nullified. A lot of people tend to put champs that nullify there instead of putting like Omega Red. They choose to take advantage of Prey on the weak and not close encounters. Take advantage of close encounters, man. It's way better if you have the Omega Red. Alright, so we got Plague Mind again, no power, protection shielding. If you know, Iceman already has a built-in protection shielding, which doesn't allow him to take 5% of health damage from any attack at one point. But his costs him his ice armor. He gets another one by doing this. So pretty much the whole fight, he's going to be unable to take any more than 5% health, which is almost like a safeguard in itself. It's pretty sick. And this spot here, the main mini boss, is all of them together as long as they don't take out the nodes. But locally, it's close encounters again. Prayer on the weak, protection shielding. So I put another Iceman there to get the protection shielding. We got Mephisto here in this transitional spot with the portal. It's True Strike, Power Shield, and Kinetic Transfer. Power Shield. Basic attacks do no damage, but specials do double damage. Well, times 400 damage, it says. Mephisto can nullify power-up buffs and things like that. So, and he's also got power control. You want to put a power control champ there so that you stop them from getting the power they need to launch specials and actually do damage. Middle section here, we got these first little spots here. I don't pay too much attention to them. They're not that big, just a little bit of limited immunity and boost ups. I think this left one's a little more important. Yeah, for each debuff, defender gains 35% attack and 10% power rate. Bleed and poison, armor break, debuffs count twice. So if you have an armor break champ, it's a great place to put them. Let's move on. Middle spot. Defender goes unstoppable every 10 seconds. Havoc's a tough fight. SB1 is going to be biased. Havoc's a good champ to put almost anywhere on this map. Let's move to the bosses and connectors. Medusa. Armor buffs gain 25% duration and ability accuracy. When struck with a critical hit, the defender remove one armor up buff to reduce his damage to 0. So, if you have an armor up champ, put him there again. Also, when dashing backwards against this enemy, it'll cause you to bleed. I like to put a Juggernaut there. Nobody put one in here for me to use. But putting Juggernaut there is an absolute killer because, as you know, at the start of the fight, and every time he launches a special, he goes unstoppable, which means you have to dash back or get your ass worked. And when you dash back, you're going to bleed, so it's double trouble, baby. Void here. Unblockable again. Special 2 bias. His special 2 is gnarly. Power sting. Blase blah. Took another void. Put him over here to the top right. For each debuff. And he throws a lot of debuffs. Anytime the enemy throws a special, it's going to give him 1 bar of power. So he's going to throw even more debuffs. It's going to double and triple it. Blade. I'm trying to rush through this, Bubba. Blade here. Got all of them combined. Locally. Limited immunity. Debuff stuff. Unblockable stuff. Pretty low key. Left side, this is where we get funky. We got the plus 20% evade, auto block, true accuracy. So any champion that can evade or auto block, you want to throw there. But normally ones that auto, you don't want ones that have to be done by the user. So good ones are obviously Nightcrawler, Spidey down here. That's the same node. Quake. Things like that. Over here, you got plus 100% regen. Obviously, Wolverine's a good choice there. I'm trying out, this is my first time trying out Mr. Sinister here. He's got plus 100% regen and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. He's a gnarly motherfucker when he's got that regen going, so plus 100% is going to do some crazy shit. Red Skull is always a tough fight. He's a weird character, and if he's stun immune, it's going to be just that much more tough to do. Let's go to the diamond where shit gets fucking lethal. Darkhawk. Man, Darkhawk is nasty. He's a character that I want most. He's a character that I've wanted since I started this game. He's my favorite Marvel character, period. He's the shit. And yeah, all this stuff right here is just going to increase it. I'm actually going to switch him around because he's already double immune. And he's sitting on a spot with immunities. So I don't want to take from somebody else his chance to have immunities for Darkhawk since he's already double immune. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take him, and I think I'm going to switch him with this Red Skull. What is that? Just enhance SP1. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to go swap. Bam, sucker. Alright, now that's done. Now, like I said, now the Darkhawk's got the SP1. And Red Skull's got some stun immunity and immunities, other things. Korg here sitting on the spot, one of the most important spots, mirror image. He's going to mirror every buff that you do while you're fighting him. So he's going to gain all your abilities. Also stun immune, true strike. He's going to evade armor break. And also he's going to evade auto block. Let's see, we go here to 100% recovery. Which, if you know, this guy right here is a monster with recovery. I don't like him as a defender. He's an easy fight, but he is a big-time 6-star right here, and he's on the perfect node for him. So let's test him out and see how he does. We got Thing back here. Thing is always a good choice for a defender. He's a monster, immune to everything, which I'm going to switch him around to. I'll switch him over here. I'm doing that because of like the same immunity effect that I did with Darkhawk. Alright, so I got my Omega over here to the left, Enhanced Special 2, and Power Gain. His Special 2 launches that Death Field. It's a good night. And we got 6-star Invisi at this spot here, and Invisible Woman's just she's a crazy fight, dude, and she's sick. You're gonna miss her half the time. Yeah, so that's the gist of it, man. You really want to think about node to champion comparison. What does the champion do? How can it benefit the node that I'm thinking about putting them on? Know the spots that are most important, man. These connectors here in the middle. Any spot where you can funnel them. So this right here is a Valley of Death right here. In between Iron Man Infinity War, the mini-boss, and the directional fork, that is called the Valley of Death. That's where you want to trap everybody. Dude, one time when we were tier 6, I had my Annihilus right where he is. And I had another Annihilus, a buddy of one of my old members had an Annihilus just as strong as mine. And he put him on the right side. It was crazy, dude. You saw the number 5 underneath my Annihilus. And the number 4 underneath his Annihilus. So 9 people could not get through our Annihilus in tier 7. That's just a testament to that funnel right there. If you can funnel them and not let them pass right there, brother, it's game over. You're gonna win. What else? What else? What else? Okay, use your abilities over here. Number one, uh, use your sneakiness. These 3 question marks here, they are perfect to throw somebody off, especially when people think, okay, 9 times out of 10, people put their weak champions in the first 3 little spots over here. Well, one time I threw my fucking, I think I threw a mega in this spot right here at number 7. I threw a mega there behind the question mark, and the guy who went down that path, he did not make it past my omega. He thought it was going to be an easy little path, and then all of a sudden my fucking rank 4 5-star omega at 6200 popped up, and he had a bad day. So it's good to use these little sneakinesses. Now you also want to use this down here, that little button down here to the right, at the very bottom right above where it says 1. Click on that sucker, and you can see everybody's entries, and you can click on them, which I do very often just to get a rough guide on the champ. So I click on Diablo, special abilities, alchemy, poison, resistance, poison. Alright, come over here, Iron Man, armor break. So if there's an armor break node out there, I can put him on. Heal, block, power drain, so he's good for any of those nodes that are for power. You know, it's just good to go and refresh on these things and see where you can put them. It'll help you decide where you're putting people. All right, man, that's about it for this one. We'll do another one when we get to tier 7 or 8, I guess. And because it will be slightly different, and it'll keep getting slightly different going down. Keep this video, man, and use it every time you need to think back to how to do this shit right. Take your time whenever you're doing these placements. Really think about it. Think about your past experiences, champions you fought in certain areas that you just hated that we can implement. Man, I strive myself on being the smartest strategist this game has. And it helps me do that when I have a team that's just as smart. Take your time, do it right, and we're going to win. Out.